Why most relationships fail. Most relationships don't fail because people stop loving each other. They fail because people stop understanding themselves. That might sound uncomfortable at first, especially in a world that loves to blame communication, compatibility, or timing. But if you sit with it long enough, it starts to make sense. Because relationships don't break suddenly, they erode quietly. And usually, what erodes them isn't one big event. It's a collection of unspoken things that were never given language. So today, I don't want to tell you how to fix relationships. I want to talk with you about why they fail in the first place, and what that failure is often trying to teach us about ourselves, not just the other person. The story we're taught about love. Most of us grow up with a very simple story about relationships. If you love each other enough, things will work out. If they don't work out, someone didn't try hard enough, or someone chose wrong. That story sounds neat, but it's incomplete. Because love doesn't automatically bring emotional awareness, nervous system regulation, self-honesty, healthy boundaries. Those are skills. And most people were never taught them. So relationships become the place where unhealed patterns meet. Why attraction isn't. The problem. Here's something people rarely talk about. Attraction is easy. What's hard is staying present when old wounds get activated, fears surface, expectations collide, unconscious roles emerge. Most relationships don't fail at the beginning. They fail at the point where the unconscious enters the room. That's when things start feeling confusing, heavy, or tense, and neither person quite knows why. If you've ever thought, why does this feel harder than it should? That question itself is important. It's not a sign you're broken. It's often a sign that something deeper is asking to be seen. The role of unmet needs. One of the biggest reasons relationships fail is surprisingly simple. People don't know what they need, so they don't know how to ask. Needs go unspoken, resentment builds quietly, expectations turn into silent tests, and because the needs were never named, they're experienced as disappointment rather than information. Most people aren't intentionally withholding love. They're operating from unconscious lack. When love turns into performance. Another quiet failure point is performance. At first, we show up as our best selves, naturally. But over time, many people begin to maintain an image rather than live authentically. They avoid conflict to keep peace. They suppress needs to stay connected. They shrink parts of themselves to remain lovable. And slowly, without realizing it, they abandon themselves in the name of the relationship. That abandonment always comes due. Why conflict isn't. The real issue. People often say relationships fail because of conflict. But conflict itself isn't the problem. The problem is how conflict is handled. When conflict feels unsafe, people shut down, attack, withdraw, or appease, not because they don't care, but because their nervous system doesn't know another way. Relationships don't fail because people disagree. They fail because disagreement becomes threatening instead of connective. The invisible role of the nervous system. This part changes everything once you see it. Relationships are not just emotional, they're physiological. If your nervous system learned early on that closeness equals danger, intimacy will eventually feel overwhelming. If it learned that love must be earned, you'll overgive until you resent it. If it learned that conflict leads to loss, you'll avoid truth until distance replaces honesty. None of this is conscious choice, it's conditioning. Why people stay too long or leave too fast. Another reason relationships fail is timing, but not in the way people think. Some people stay far too long because leaving feels like failure. Familiarity feels safer than uncertainty. Hope replaces evidence. Others leave too quickly because closeness triggers fear. Vulnerability feels like exposure. Independence feels safer than attachment. Both are responses to nervous system history, not moral flaws, not character defects, patterns. The myth of the right person. There's a myth that if you find the right person, the relationship will be easy. But ease doesn't come from perfection. It comes from mutual self-awareness, emotional responsibility, willingness to repair capacity to reflect rather than react. A relationship doesn't work because two people are flawless. It works because two people are willing to look inward. Without that, even the right person becomes impossible to stay with. Why relationships are such powerful teachers. Relationships are mirrors. They don't just show us who the other person is. They show us who we become in connection. Where we shrink, where we harden, where we overfunction, where we disappear. When a relationship ends, the pain isn't just loss. It's often the grief of seeing ourselves clearly for the first time. That's why breakups can feel like identity collapses. When a relationship ending is not failure, this part is important. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Some relationships end because they've completed their purpose. They showed you a pattern, a boundary, a wound, a strength you didn't know you had. Ending doesn't always mean something went wrong. Sometimes it means something was learned. What actually sustains a relationship? If we strip it right back, relationships last when people are willing to take responsibility for their inner world, speak honestly without punishment, listen without defense, repair rather than retreat. That doesn't require perfection. It requires presence, and presence can't exist where self-abandonment lives. Most relationships don't fail because love disappears. They fail because people were never taught how to stay connected without losing themselves. The work isn't to find someone who never triggers you. It's to become someone who can stay present when triggers arise. Whether you're in a relationship, leaving one, or reflecting on past ones, this isn't about blame. It's about understanding. And understanding is how we stop repeating the same story with different characters. You don't need to rush to change anything. Awareness is already movement. If this gave language to something you've lived but never quite articulated, sit with it. You're not behind. You're learning. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. As always, this has been Valkyrie. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.